Hi, welcome to Couch on Fire. I'm Erica Martin and I'll be your host. I'm a psychotherapist with 20 plus years experience and I'm welcoming you to the conversation with fascinating people with unique stories to tell. So if you want to learn how to dig deep, get the hell out of your own way and start living your best life, then you are going to love today's episode. And remember, you can choose to spend your life putting out fires or setting your soul on fire. And the choice, my darlings, is always yours. Hi, welcome to Couch on Fire. I'm here today with Miss Marcie Lovell, who has love in her name, and I just love that all the time. I tell her that all the time. Marcie is with Lovell Counseling, Inc. She has been a therapist since 2012, I believe. And before that, you were in the adoption industry
Yep.
for
20 years.
for 20 years. And so welcome. I am so glad that you're here. And you know, everyone has their own story to tell. Everyone has their own message that they're relaying to people out there. What I love for you is that you're kind of a quiet strength. As long as I've known you, right? Very resilient. You might argue you're shy. You're not going to probably say this, but you are. You have a quiet strength about you. And in the last couple of years, it's been like maybe that strength isn't necessarily so quiet. Like you've learned to kind of take charge, take risks, fall into your own, right? Because
Right.
you've always had the voice.
I've always had the voice.
And for others, it was easy.
Yes.
For yourself,
Not so easy.
not so easy. And I can absolutely relate to that.
Yes.
But speaking of taking risks, let's start with this. So you saved a man's life at the beach
I did.
a couple weeks ago. Talk to me about that.
So I was at the beach with my dogs and my boyfriend, and we were there just after Hurricane Erin. So the ocean was like
Oh, I
basically
can only imagine.
you
Right? It was
know,
probably pretty.
yeah, it was like a washing machine. And there were signs everywhere that said, don't go in the water. And we were there playing with the dogs, playing ball, and I walked away to go up to the dunes just to get something out of the car, and I hear, help me. And I look out, and the guy that was playing with his dog, who has one arm and not able to swim,
Oh, God, how scary.
it was so scary, and he was just bobbing up and down because he couldn't tread water.
Right.
So his wife said, I don't know what to do. And so we called 911, and I didn't even think twice, and which is shocking because I grew up at the beach. So I've seen lots of saves. So I knew I had to grab something. So I grabbed a boogie board and I just started swimming. And
Talk about taking risks.
right. And you know, sometimes you can't think too much.
No.
You just have to do it because on the other side of the uncomfortable is success.
Ooh.
You have to get through that uncomfortable. And I say that to my clients all the time, like it's going to feel really uncomfortable. It's going to feel scary.
Yeah.
It's going to feel like you're worried, just like I was out in the water. And when I got to him, the first thing he said to me was, I don't think we're going to make it. You shouldn't have come out here. It's really bad. And he was like out of breath and he was about to cry. And I was like, you just have to calm down, take a breath.
And trust.
And trust. Yeah. So I had the boogie board. He got on the boogie board. I got on the boogie board. But the undertow and riptide were so bad that it kept pulling us out. So we got further and further out, which was scary. But clearly I'm here. So
Clearly, I'm so glad that you're here.
But so I could go through the whole details of the whole shebang, but it's not even, it's kind of long. But
He was okay.
he ended up getting in, and I got in, and paramedics didn't get there for 40 minutes once we were out of the water. So he would have. They actually, when they walked down the dunes, they were fully dressed in their uniforms, like their paramedic uniforms. I'm like, were you guys going to go in the water? And they said, we knew it was going to be a recovery.
Wow. So if this story doesn't speak to divine intervention, which you and I believe, share some philosophies,
Oh, yes,
right?
we do.
About divine intervention and just honoring your intuition, following your truth, growing out of discomfort, because that's where we grow, right?
Yes.
I mean, the universe, I believe, does things for us, not to us.
Yes.
And so there was that opportunity. And of course, you being you didn't even think about it. You saw someone struggling and that's your program. That's what we do, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't allow someone to suffer and not try and act or do something.
Yep.
So, one, you're so brave. Two, I love that we're starting with this story because it just shows like the transformation for you, right? Not that you wouldn't have always done it, but you wouldn't be sitting here talking about it.
No.
Like wanting to be on a podcast might make you want to like crawl under a rock and not do it.
Well,
Although you've done it with me before, so
I've done it with you before, and I think what's important to share that was the kind of crescent of my change was when my mom was ill back in 2016. And it was probably, if not the last thing she said to me, it was probably one of the last things she said to me was, and this was when she was literally, for lack of a better word, on her deathbed. She said to me, "Don't wait till you're where I am right now to experience joy."
Wow.
That was the last thing she said to me.
Wow.
And that was when things shifted for me.
And that's actually how we met.
It was?
In that grief,
Yeah.
you and I began working in a Reiki group. And for those of you that don't know what Reiki is, it's like energetic healing. It's being able to feel other people's energy, be able to manipulate that to help them, get more in touch with what's going on in their body. And so you and I were both like, I don't know what this is about, but
Right.
we were open.
We were open.
We were open. And I remember, I think, was it after your mom had passed or right before?
It was after.
It was right out. Okay. And I can remember the practitioner that was teaching the class, Michael.
Yep.
I remember him saying to you, you're more beautiful than you know, and you are more powerful than you know. And I remember thinking, oh God, that's just so spot on for her. That's just so spot on. And so I think you were doing what most people don't know how to do at that time, which is, I'll do whatever I need to do to heal, to feel through this pain, to work through the grief. And then there's also that part that's like so desperate to be connected to those we love, and they're not here. So I think it was like your awakening, maybe.
It was definitely an awakening because it was at that point that I really started to find my voice more.
For you.
For me.
Okay.
For me.
Because you've always had a voice.
I've always had a voice, but I was non-confrontational. And I like to be the one that kind of sat back and listened. And I did a lot of that, obviously in my practice. But I started feeling like I had more energy to change, to make change.
Feel like it was an intention? Like you were more intentional?
I was 100% more intentional. It was not just, it wasn't by accident. I don't believe in coincidences anymore.
Me either.
And I truly believe that when you think about the outcome and you know that there's a bridge and you have to just get over the bridge, and the bridge is going to be very, very wobbly, very turbulent. It's not going to be smooth sailing. But once you get over that bridge on the other side, that's
so worth it.
So worth it.
So worth it. And so you are on the Rainbow Bridge on the other side right now, my darling, because, well, one, you were recognized by Howard County as Practitioner of the Year. I don't know what the
Best of Howard.
Best of Howard.
Yeah.
Which is impressive because in this community, for those of you that don't know, we're in Howard County, Maryland right now. It is a pretty competitive market, and so to be recognized and really singled out speaks so much of you and your dedication to your clients. I've referred to you so many times over the years, and the most challenging ones, you're always ready to, yes, there are challenging clients. I'm sorry, it's just a true statement, right?
Yes.
Some were challenging than others, and you always like step up and you have a way. And maybe it was that like non-confrontational, just being able to hold that space and support. But you'd find a way to say what needed to be said.
Yeah.
And I have tremendous respect for you
Thank you.
So being best of Howard and then saying, you know what? I'm going to open my own practice.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you haven't been doing it forever, really kind of independently, like, but in a
Right.
contractual kind of way.
Exactly.
That you're like, you know what? I'm owning everything now. My practice, my space, my clients, wow.
Yeah.
So for someone listening right now,
Yeah.
they might think you're totally full of shit. They might be like, how does this woman go from, right? And not really that you're full of shit, but that goes from being more shy, more passive, more non-confrontational to now fast forward the frame. Yeah, I'm going to dive in and save some guy's life. Yeah, I'm going to start my own practice. Yeah, I'm going to be nominated as best of Howard County. Yeah, I'm going to make necessary changes, cut people out of my life that really don't serve, and support my higher purpose, right?
Right.
How'd you get there? I'm
Well-
sure that'll be a 2-second answer.
Well, I think that I feel like you have to allow yourself to dream.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself permission to think of don't say what if, but say I will. Instead of it being a question, make it a statement.
Ooh, that's that intention you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. So don't crawl under the rock. Don't hide behind the bushes. Don't, peek over the wall. Knock it down.
Yeah.
Push it out of the way. And feel like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Because whatever that is, we have what we need within ourselves
Absolutely.
to get through it. And if we don't, we know who to ask to help.
Yeah.
But if you hold back, then you're going to wonder, what if,
Always.
right?
I used to work in a retirement home as part of my training for social work, right? And everyone I would interview as part of like my exit would say their regrets were always what they didn't do,
Sure.
never what they did do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you think your mom giving you that message was the turning point for you?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And she used to say to me, she was always the half glass full, always. So anytime that I had something negative to say, she'd spin it and just say, you know what, but you have to look at this. And it wasn't just, oh, look at what you have and be grateful for what you have. It was deeper.
Yeah.
And she would just say, why are you focusing on all these things that are bringing you down? Let's talk about the things that could make you feel better.
Right.
And she used to say that to me, but I used to be almost too busy to hear it. I was like, oh, you're just my mom, and
I think everybody says that, right? You're my parents, you don't know, right?
right. And and I thought, maybe that's how it was for you. Well, now she's been gone almost 10 years, and I
That's
find,
how long we've known each
yeah,
other.
I know.
Bless her little heart.
I know. So I feel like now I'm at a place in my life where she was when she gave me advice. So now, I have 2 adult children. I have a new grandson.
Cutie patootie tootie. Oh my God, he's so gorgeous.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. And so I feel like I want to be able to not waste time and I don't want to lecture, but I want to show. Like I want to say, this is what I was able to do where 10 years ago I may have been too scared.
So overcoming the fear, getting out of your own way, digging deep, really everything that we talk about,
Yep.
right, in the show. So you're also a fitness buff, right? Because that's a big part of your life.
It is.
So I met you as a therapist. Then I knew you were like teaching cycling classes and other stuff. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how that ties into this as well.
So that's part of why I felt confident to go in the water, because I've trained for Iron Girl. So I've been in open water before.
You're badass, Marcie. You really are. I love that for you.
I would never have done that if I did not train to swim in open water, even though I grew up swimming in the ocean all the time.
Yeah.
But it was so rough that day.
Yeah.
So, but people ask me all the time, how often do you work out? What do you do? What is so important to you about staying fit? And I ride the Peloton for an hour and a half every day.
I know you do.
Every day. I just started running again, literally like last week. But I've run the Boston Marathon. I've done probably 12 marathons and many, many, many other length races. But it's been a while since I've done any races, but I continue to work out. And people say, why do you work out? Well, you never know when you're going to need to be fit like I did for that guy.
Right. And also mind, body, spirit. Like we are very like-minded in terms of our clinical practice.
Yep.
And so, it seems to me it was the progression. And I think most of us go through it this way. Maybe not everybody, but it's like, first I have to master what's going on in here.
Yep.
Then I really need to realize, okay, my body and mind are so interconnected that if I'm taking care of one and not the other. And then the true transcendence part is, there's my spirit that also needs to be addressed
Absolutely.
in all of this, right? So that seems to me like, so this last journey of falling into your own, trusting yourself,
Yep.
maybe also listening to that divine wisdom or inner guidance that's nudging you. Take a chance, Marcie.
Yeah, just do it.
Take a chance. Just do it.
Don't hold back.
I love that.
Don't hold back.
I have the look in your eye. You got the fire in your eye.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
I mean, it comes back down to, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
I work with a lot of, people who are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and people live so hard to retire, but then they retire and they're exhausted and can't do anything.
Or they're older and can't do things.
Right.
Too, right? Like physically maybe can't do
Right.
the same things.
So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, build the beach house, go on the trip, do the things that make you feel empowered, and I mean, my dream for a very long time, because I grew up at the beach, was to be back at the beach. And
right
it's
now,
coming true.
It's coming true.
Yeah.
You just signed today?
We settled last week.
Oh, settled last
Yeah.
week. Okay.
And then moved in this past weekend, and it's a dream come true.
I always talk about our little girls. Or little,
Yeah.
could be boy, obviously in this situation it's a girl. What was your little girl like? I imagine her on the beach.
Oh my gosh,
obviously.
I was a
totally
beach girl. I was very, very, very much a tomboy. They actually called me Mark when I was little. They did.
Okay.
Especially in
So you
middle
always
school.
played by your own rules. In some
I
way,
always
shape,
played
or
by
form.
my own
Okay.
rules. But I liked being athletic and being strong and being fun and friendly and funny. And I always wanted to see people around me happy and that I had something to do with it. So
your little girl felt happy when everybody else was happy, when everyone else
Right.
was okay.
Right.
What would your little girl say right now about you being happy?
What took you so long?
What took you so long?
Because even though I don't consider myself old, there's things that I do say to myself, why'd you wait so long?
What do you think it was?
Fear. I don't have
Yours
that.
or hers? Like, was it the adult you that started it, or?
It was definitely the adult me.
Okay.
I was afraid of failure or afraid of judgment
Yeah.
or of disappointment. And then I realized that you have to, live for yourself and take care of you so that, you have to fill your cup so that you feel empowered and strong enough to be there for others.
Yeah.
And when you can't be, that means you're not doing enough for yourself.
Absolutely. Although I think you and I really, it was a journey for us to both really learn and embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I have to say, this is probably getting personal, but might as well.
whatever you want to share, my darling.
So my 2 adult children, one's 28 and one is 25. It was, some of the changes that I've made in my life have been really hard for them because there were things that I did that I think they feel I sacrificed some of the things that they should have had. I didn't protect them enough or give them enough at times that they needed it because I was taking on what I needed to do for myself. But I know for a fact now that I'm coming on the other side of that really turbulent time, that I have time still to be there for them as my strong self.
Ooh.
Because I wasn't for a long time.
Yeah.
And they felt that. And I'm still healing from that. And I feel like we're always healing.
Sure.
But with that healing comes the strength and power. And that's what I want them to see.
How do they feel about where you are now?
I think that
If you had to assume,
I
or
know. I haven't asked them,
Okay.
but I think that they're surprised because I had to go through a lot to get here. And I don't think they may not have thought I had it in me.
Like underestimate me. That's gonna
That's
be
right.
good, right?
That's right. I think they
Well,
probably.
you didn't know you had it in
I
you. So
didn't.
how would they possibly know that you had it in
But I think that for people watching, I truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that when you are born with everything you need to be your best self. But as we go through life, that gets chipped away at because of trauma or just things that happen throughout your childhood and that take that and put it to the side. So it's hard to access.
Yeah.
But once you realize that it's still there, which it is for everybody,
Yeah.
then you start thinking, how can I tap into it? What can I do to tap into that empowerment, strength, love, integrity, strength, all those
The
really
truth of who you are.
right.
Don't
The
you
truth.
think it really is like underneath all
Yeah.
the layers of everything that I've experienced, encountered, things that have made me question, things that have tried to push me down. Like I say, I think all things happen for us, not to us.
Right.
Is just the honest truth
Yeah. Yeah.
of who you are on a soul level, what your soul came here to do, what its mission is.
100%.
And when you really start living that, it's like there's peace. And with that peace, like, at least this is my
Yeah.
feeling on it. When there's that peace, you know you're heading in the right direction. Like there's no question.
And it doesn't happen like that.
Oh God, no. No.
And what happens is you start to feel the peace, and then you realize that there's more. That's like the tip of the iceberg when you just start to feel it, and then you start doing and like heading in that direction, and you realize, wow, there's so much more that you have to strive for. So you can't allow yourself to get stuck in the muck. You can't get stuck in that scary spot because, like I said, once you get through that uncomfortable spot, that uncomfortable transition, on the other side is all this wonderful, things that you can achieve.
And it's that piece of like, okay, like I think it was described to me like from one of the little spiritual gurus I worked with, that she said, Erica, your soul chose you. And your soul chose your family, your lineage, all the experiences, all the people, because those were opportunities to train you and help you acquire the skills and the resources necessary to become who you're ultimately meant to become. And that she said, that's not an easy road.
No.
Right? She's like, but once you started, you know, finding your own path, the souls always get free will choice is the most sacred thing in the world. But it's going to nudge you when you're in the right direction. Like, that feels good. Because that's what it came here to do. That was its purpose, right?
Right.
And so I think as we become more purposeful, that peace comes, then that fire comes.
Right.
Then it's like, they got me. I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
I'm gonna do it. Because you get out of your own ego, out of your own way,
Yeah.
out of that fear. Because
Yep.
fear is really ego. It's all
It is.
the anxiety.
It's
and
all the
noise.
worry about what you think other people are going to think. It's the
Isn't
judgment.
it great being this age, though, where you get to say, I do not care anymore? Are you there yet?
I'm there, and I'm surprised when I say it. So I say that, and then I'm like, but I don't have to. Like you get to a point in life where you're like, do what you want to do. You don't have to do it. You can make change. Like when I went to start my solo practice, I kept thinking to myself, I want it to be easy. So that's what kept me there. Because I thought it'd be easy. But once I decided that I wanted it to be mine,
Oh, that's a very different feeling.
and then I realized it's all mine.
Very different energy, right?
So it's not just, sometimes the easy road isn't the best road.
No, and you know what? I did it the polar opposite of you. Okay? I was like, I'm gonna build an empire. Like when I finally cut loose, I was like, I'm gonna start my own practice. I'm gonna rent a place with all these spaces. I'm gonna create wonderful opportunities for amazing people. You know, we all kind of work together collaboratively. I loved every minute of it until I realized how much of my time was spent putting out fires
Exactly.
rather than setting my soul on fire, which was the whole purpose of starting my own practice. And I don't mean that with disrespect to anyone
No.
I've worked with, but you know, my one soul's purpose that I know so truly is bringing great people together.
Yeah.
You're here, right?
Aw.
And so I did that through my work the first time, and now I'm like, no, I'm going to do it through connecting with other people, sharing the wonderful stories
Right.
of everybody that I know, or have had the pleasure of working with or coming into contact with, right?
Yeah.
And so I had that feeling of it's mine, right? And it was great. But I wasn't content with it just being mine. I had to grow something,
Yeah.
create
No.
something.
And I don't, everyone keeps asking me, like, are you going to start hiring
Don't
other
do it.
I'm
Don't
not.
do it.
I
Don't,
have
don't,
no
don't, don't,
desire
don't do it.
because, I mean, my ultimate goal is to be able to practice at the beach.
Yeah.
You know, I want the beach and I want my job I love what I do.
You can have your cake and eat it too, girl. You've created that for yourself.
I'm working on it, but you know, I know that it's a transition and it takes a little bit of time, but
Sure.
but like I feel like I'm still kind of at the iceberg, you know, but I can see beyond it what it's going to look like.
I can see it with you.
Yeah, isn't it awesome? It's
It's
gorgeous.
delicious. It is delicious. Put some sprinkles and whipped cream on that.
Yum.
And I know how hard you've worked. And I guess that's really the point I want to drive home to other people. Like, as you're sitting here in this joy on the other side of what wasn't always
Right.
easy, joyful, you know, and you're saying, along the way, some of your decisions may have hurt other people or cost things. And they always will, unfortunately.
Right.
That doesn't mean we're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
You know, I think any woman who has a family and a career, it's always a juggling act and a sacrifice. You know, you're never going to be 100%, but you hope that you taught them well.
Yeah.
In the foundational years, gave them all the love, gave them everything they need, gave them all the tools. And also part of the message is also saying to them, you got this. You're going to be okay.
You got this.
You're going to be okay. You know, and then you're modeling that, you know, so.
But it, again, took a while. So it's like, I feel like I'm, it's almost like a rebirth.
Yeah.
It really is. You know, it's like an awakening or a rebirth or it's really finding that inner strength but not just finding it, it's using it. You know, don't, that's part of the, you know, people pleasing and putting out fires and all that stuff. It's like you want to stop doing things just because other people say either you can't and you want to do it because you think you have to prove them otherwise, or
I wouldn't know what that is.
or you know, it's like you've got to do it 100% for yourself.
Yeah.
But I think that as women, we're raised to be there for others.
And conditioned in every aspect. I couldn't agree with you more.
And when we focus on ourselves, it appears selfish to some people, but I feel like it's necessary, like oxygen.
Yeah.
It's like you've got to, every day when you wake up, you have to say to yourself, what's my gauge? How am I feeling right now? And what do I need to do to be my best self so that my day is the best it can be?
Yeah. I grew up with that. If I'm not doing for everyone else, then I am being selfish. I
Right.
mean, that was really
right. That's how
my internal dialogue for a long time.
Yeah.
And then I think you also said about that cup, right? So you're pouring out. You really then have nothing to offer.
Nothing. You're bone dry.
Yeah. And then, if anything, you can actually bring a lot of negativity, toxicity, chaos, stress to relationships when you're not taking care of yourself. And to me, that's far more selfish. So I've learned to, like you said, how your mom would flip the script a little bit, right?
Yep.
But that's a reframe, but it's true.
Yep.
It took me a really long time, though, to say, like, all right, I'm going to go for that massage today, or I'm going to go to acupuncture today, or I'm going to work out today, or I'm going to, or sometimes it's like, I'm going to take that bubble bath, and I'm going to take some ice cream and a spoon, and I'm going to lock the door, and, you know, whatever it is that just gives you, like, I am not an endless well
Right.
of energy for everybody.
Yep.
And when you do that, everything starts to change, like you said, slow.
Yeah, you can't be impatient.
No.
You have to know that it's a transition.
Just like you train for the
process.
marathons, you train for the emotional marathon, right? You didn't do Iron Girl overnight,
No.
right? So, what would you want to say to someone if they said to you, where would I want to even begin with this?
What's your dream? What is your dream?
Most people will say, oh, that's never going to happen.
Only if you not do anything about it, then it's never going to happen.
That's a guarantee it won't happen.
That's right. But it's thinking about what's the first step I can take so that when I'm successful with that first step, I can then work on the second step and look at it as a ladder instead of a mountain.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like when you take it step by step and you feel like you're making a difference little by little, as you get closer and closer to your goal, you realize, wow, it's right there. It is like running a marathon, like at mile 23, when you know you got
Yeah.
3.2
Actually, I would
miles
never
left.
know that, but I'm sure somebody else.
Well, I
there
can
would.
tell you, if you've
Okay.
run a marathon, first of all, the worst thing you can say to someone on mile 23 is you're almost there, because you're not. You still have 3.2 miles left to go. But when you're there, you say to yourself, oh my gosh, look what I've already done.
I can
Look
do
what's
this.
behind me.
Yeah.
This is just, I've done this run a gazillion times. If you've run marathons, you've run 5Ks, you've run 10Ks, you've run half marathons. This is nothing. So taking those steps to get to mile 23, you got this. You got it. You just have to push past the uncomfortable. Your legs might be tired, your heart might be tired, all that stuff, but you got it in you. You just got to dig a little deeper.
And so all those internal dialogues that we've talked about in the past, right? Where it's like you are what you feed yourself. And so if you're constantly feeding yourself
Negativity.
and
It's not going to happen.
it really isn't.
You got to flip the narrative. Flip
Yeah.
it. Flip the script, just like my mom did. Flip it. Don't look at it half empty. It's half full. Look at everything half full. You're always halfway there.
And you can also say, I'm halfway there, I could stop. I'm just going to end it right here, and that's your choice. But then I don't think you get to complain when you don't reach your goals because you never really put in the effort to get there. And I don't mean that in like I don't like the way I just said that. Actually, I want to make a course correction. There's always going to be those times where life is hard, and you start going on a path, and it does become too burdensome, too hard. It's okay to take a break, but it doesn't mean you abandon it.
No.
It means you go back and revisit it. Maybe there's a better strategy, a better way. But if you're not going to attempt to try and problem solve the obstacles and blockages to where you're trying to go, that's on you.
I think also if you look at it like, it's kind of like when you take a trip. And I've been doing this a lot lately because I've been driving back and forth to the beach a lot this summer.
Good for you. Good for you.
So when you drive somewhere, it feels like it takes forever. But the way back seems to go so fast because you've already
Had the
been there.
experience.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it as what has felt from your childhood till now might feel very slow and non-intentional. From here to the end, switch it.
Yeah.
Because it does speed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like 2025 has gone like this, and every year goes faster and faster. So even though you feel like it's taken a long time to get to where you are today, it may not take that long to get to where you want to be.
Right. And so that's about the mindset, but then there's also the weeding out process of things that create obstacles, people who speak in those discouraging
Oh, yeah.
words or those mindsets. Or,
Yeah. And that's when you have to say, I can push past that because people aren't always looking out for your best interest.
No, they're not.
Not always. So it's being able to.
I love how we looked at each other when we said that. Can you repeat it?
That people aren't always looking out for your best interest.
That's the hardest thing to believe. But it's true.
There's a lot of jealousy and competition, and, there's not genuine support. And if you find somebody who gives you that genuine support, then you need to stay with them and let them be your wingman.
Absolutely. That is like, that's your person. That's your safe space.
That's right.
That's like, there's nothing better, I think, than when women are empowering other women.
Of course.
Like you see, like, you shared like some of these huge things. I'm like, my little girl is like, yay, Marcie, cheerleader, because why wouldn't I want to celebrate that? But there's a lot of people that will.
They get jealous.
Yeah.
Or they want to compete, or they want to say, you're not being honest.
About what?
I know. Like, why would I lie about all this? That's ridiculous.
Oh, I see. I didn't even think of that one. That was a whole new layer to that.
Oh, yeah. People are, they're like, that's it. Are you sure that really happened? It's like, are you kidding? This is like, I try to be as authentic as I can.
Yeah.
It's.
You don't try, you actually do.
I am authentic, but I think that the little girl in me is the one that was always striving to be better. Not than other people, just to be better than my current self.
Yeah.
Like I always just wanted to, get the A, hit the home run,
Shocking.
be someone's best friend. Like I wanted that, and I think that I want to be able to help others achieve that.
Yeah.
I want, like, if you've got something that you want to do and you're afraid, you need to find a wingman. You do.
I'll be your
wing woman.
Or wing woman anytime. Do you remember when we were on the last podcast? What we did? Bolt cutters.
Bolt cutters, but
Bolt cutters.
I don't even remember what I was chopping up.
We were
Getting rid of.
But we were getting rid of energies
That
do
energy?
not support your growth, relationships, people, situations, work environments, whatever it is. If it is holding you up, holding you back, and not allowing you to be your most authentic self and give you peace.
Yep.
Bolt cutters.
Bolt
it has
cutters.
to be. You got really good at that. Yeah. So thank you for being here. Your mom would be so happy to see all you've accomplished. She'd be so proud of you.
Thank you.
She'd be so proud of you. What would you want to say to her?
Right? If she were right here,
Yeah.
let's go dancing.
We'll go dance after this. Hi, thanks for joining us here at Couch on Fire. We appreciate you. So if you want to continue learning how to live your best life, dig deep and get the hell out of your own way, then hit that like button, crush that subscribe, and continue watching. Feel free to leave comments below, and we'll see you next week.